Well, hello, everyone. There it goes.
That's me.
Yeah, little bit of an issue with the intro, but everybody, it's Colin from Talking Ball, and I'm joined with my normal co-host, Jose, and then I've also got Josh, our special guest of the day, becoming a regular. What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are well. What's up with you two gents? Things well in your part of the world today?
All good. All good here, man. I've just been chilling, watching the Lazarus Project on TV. So
I've never heard of it. I'm gonna have to write that down.
so it's a UK series, but if you can find it online, you just watch it. It's good. It's decent.
Cool, yeah. I'll check it out. Awesome. Jose, we know you've been working all day. Work go okay today, bud?
Yeah, another busy day. Obviously, I'm drawing down the days till I go on leave, so there's a lot of work to be done in a short space of time, to be honest. And then I've got a 3-week break, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I hope you just hold tight. You can make it. I know that those breaks are tough because you have to get all of your work for the break done almost like before you go, and it's like tripling your workload. So good luck with that. You got this. You'll be on break before you know it. But yeah, everybody, we're here to talk and to loosely talk about Tottenham, kind of like we always do. So with that kind of in mind, I just thought we could jump straight into it. We were talking before the show, everybody, just so that we talk a little bit before these happen and we don't just jump straight in. But we were talking about transfers and possible transfers and a player that we've been hearing a lot about lately as a possible target for us. Lloyd Kelly appears to be off the table, according to my friend Jose here. And Jose, you say that's because he's now injured. For one, I didn't know he was injured. Has it been a long-term injury or did he just get injured? Do you know?
He's only just got injured.
Okay, interesting. Well, yeah. So I guess with all of our current injuries, we'd be looking to obviously bolster the ranks and not throw another injured guy just on the injured list. Does this worry you at all? I mean, like, do you think we had a lot of our eggs in the Lloyd Kelly basket and now we're going to have to pivot and look at something else? Or do you think Lloyd Kelly was just one of many names in the book, you think?
So we signed Vicario in the summer.
Yep.
Yeah, Vicario was not on our list, not on our lips. We never spoke about him at all. We never said a word about him and that. And yet we brought him in. With centre backs, there were many people touted and mentioned, and we brought Mickey van der Ven in. He was one of the ones, but he was one of many that was touted, and we brought Mickey van der Ven in. So, if we're a really good club, right, then what we should know is nobody should be knowing our business, not even the fans, and we should be tight-lipped in what we're doing and making moves so people don't find out, so we can make them moves, so to speak. So I think that there are players in the background that they're looking at, and I think that there'll be other names on the list, should I say, and we will bring in somebody, and whoever we bring in, and when we do bring them in, you'll hear them in their first interview saying, "I spoke to Ange, and it was Ange that convinced me. I was convinced by everything he said." Blah blah blah. Same as Vicario's interview. Same as Madders' interview, same as Mickey's interview. All these people that were interviewed, their first interview said that they had spoken to Postecoglou and blah, blah, blah. So therefore, we'll probably get that once we sign a player. But it may well be a player that we've not thought of, but we don't know because it's been kept tight-lipped.
Obviously, that's a very, very hard thing to do, to try and keep it tight-lipped, because journos will be journos and they try to find out near enough everything and anything.
Poke and prod and
yeah. And when you've got guys like Fabrizio Romano who seems to know every single bloody agent under the sun, it becomes very, very difficult.
But Vicario did seemingly come out of nowhere. Just as an example, like that Jose used there, Vicario did sort of seem to come from nowhere. So I mean, if we could do that again, that would be sweet.
I think you think back to the last January transfer window. I think was it last January we brought in. No, it was the window before. When we brought in Kulusevski and Bentancur, Kulusevski's name was thrown out a couple of times, but we knew nothing about Bentancur. and it's sort of the last 2 or 3 days of the transfer window, and then they were they were pretty much signed on deadline day.
It's another good, that's another good example, I guess, of a player that we didn't hear. What?
Van der Vaart was another one. If we want to go back to January signings, Van der Vaart was another one that we bought in unexpectedly out of the blue.
Yeah, true, very true.
So it is possible. It is possible. It's just got we've just got to keep tight-lipped.
And think about how think about how impressive some of these players have gone on. Lolo, especially, we didn't really hear about him until close to deadline day. Now, it's every Spurs fan is distraught that he's not going to be in the team for another couple of months. So yeah, it does just go to show that maybe for a long time I think our scouting team got a lot of flack. We made a couple of bad big money signings. And so I think that everybody sort of looked bad after that. And I think that they kind of overlooked some of the good transfers. Jose and I talk a lot about this. That Paratici, for all of his misdoings and financial problems, is actually pretty good at his job. If you just look at the players that he's brought in, like who's been a success, who's not. So long may he reign at the club in some capacity. But yeah, I said yesterday, guys, that I thought that we would probably be seeing some players that we that haven't got Premier League experience, that we might not have heard of, that might be coming from leagues that we consider to be lower leagues. I don't know. That doesn't worry me. I feel like some people. So I've been seeing a lot of it, and I talked about this in the title of the post. A lot of people are saying that it seems like Ange is out of his depth in the Premier League with his. Let me turn off my camera, make sure I'm not making anything freeze, but that he's been, that he's out of his depth in the league. First of all, just as a statement, do you guys think that he's showing to be out of his depth, or do you think that's very early and not fair to say?
Do you want to start on this, Jose, or should I?
Yeah, you could go far for it.
I've said this time and time again, and I'm going to stick to my guns here. I think it's very, very, it's very rash for people to say that Ange is out of his depth, considering he's only been with us for 3 months, and in those 3 months we've had an unbelievable run of form. Only now that we have an injury crisis are we starting to see some sort of flaw in the system. But ultimately, Ange Postecoglou was dealt with shit hand, and he's only playing the cards that he was dealt with. So to say that Ange is out of his depth at this stage, I think he's very, very it's barbaric. After the January transfer window, do we start to see results like this? And maybe we can ask the question: is Ange the right person?
Josh appears to have frozen a little tiny bit. He will be back in just a second, I'm sure. Josh, are you back, buddy?
Josh isn't frozen. Josh is
no,
talking.
I wasn't frozen, mate. You were frozen.
Talking.
I think.
I was frozen. God dang it! All right, well,
you stop Josh in mid-flow, man. What's wrong with you?
No, I was saying.
I'm so sorry. Flow away, Josh.
I think come January, after the transfer window. Well, I say January. Say the middle of February. Come the middle of February, and if we start to see the same kind of results that we're seeing at the moment, then maybe we can ask the question: is Ange out of his depth? But for right now, I don't think he is. I think for what he's brought to the club, he's sort of reinstated that attacking style of football that we're really, really well known for. We had a bit of a blip under Conte and under Jose Mourinho and even Nuno, where we weren't playing the right type of football that we were known for. And I think Postecoglou's reintroduced that style of football. So to say he's out of his depth, I don't know. We're playing problematic football. We're causing a lot of teams a lot of problems, and they don't know how to deal with it. I don't think he's out of his depth. I think there's a tactical mastermind there somewhere.
Right, my opinion on it is that people are talking absolute garbage. The guy is a great manager. The guy is able to. He's going to implement something that he wants to see through. Just got to stay off his back. You can see the green shoots of what he's trying to do. Obviously, we haven't got the squad that he would like to implement fully what he wants done. However, he is trying to coach across what he wants done with players that just do not fit his system, and he's coaching them. And a lot of the players that he's coaching look better players than what they have done for the last 2 or 3 years, irrespective of where they played their football in the last 2 or 3 years. He's coached players, and we can see this. At the end of the day, winter transfer window's coming. whether it makes many changes in that, I don't know. You know, I don't know what players are going to bring in. I don't know what kind of moves are going to make. I don't know who's going to go out. But I'd say leave it till next summer, do that transfer window, and then see where we are at the beginning of next season. Hopefully, we've got a fully fit squad and more of a squad aligned to what he wants. And then we can really, really start measuring ourselves. I would not be looking at Postecoglou this season and start putting the barometers out on is he this or is he that. You've got to give him a chance to grow the squad. You can just go back to talking about another team. I know we're Tottenham, but I can remember the pivotal game where Harry Kane and the boys absolutely tore Dejan Lovren to pieces, and that Liverpool side, and we beat them up when we was playing at Wembley 4-1. And from that day, Klopp knew straight away that he had to turn something round. And they did. They got the sale of the Brazilian boy that played midfield for him. They sold it to Barcelona. They used the money to bring in Van Dijk and Alisson. All the money to bring just them two players. And everyone thought, what are you spending 130 million on two players for? Well, that became the cornerstone of their team. So at the end of the day, you've got to allow people time in order to see their projects through. They've allowed it with Klopp. Klopp's done unbelievably well with Liverpool. They're one of the teams, they're the only team that have been able really to go toe-to-toe with Man City. They finished 2 seasons on the spin with over 100 points. Yeah, and only won the league 1 out of them 2 seasons. They're challenges again this year, and that's because they allowed him to do what he needed to do. He didn't do it overnight. He got rid of players as he went forward. He didn't get rid of the whole squad in one go, and that's never going to happen at a club. Arsenal under Arteta, whether we like it or not, he came in, he put his foot down, said, I don't want X, Y, and Z in my team. But he couldn't get rid of them all in one transfer window. It took about 2 seasons for him to get rid of everything he wanted to get rid of and then build what he's building now. Okay, he's not been as successful as Klopp, but this is what I'm talking about, projects. People have been given the opportunity to do it. Guardiola, when he first came in, didn't win nothing the first season he was there. People said, oh, what's all this about Pep? You know, Pep's not all that.
I thought he was a genius or whatever.
Pep's a fucking magician. He's a genius. He is a magician. But he didn't do it in his first season either. And this is what I'm saying. Right. People got to stop this hunting Ange and that. You've got to look at it for what it is. We've got a squad that is not what he needs to implement what he wants to implement. But he's doing the best with what he's got. And to make matters worse for him, trying to do the best with what he's got, he's then lost players hand over fist to injury and suspensions. The man is working miracles at the club. He's brought the fan base together. People in the fan base now have hope. He's brought everyone at the club in the back room, staff, so from the canteen lady all the way through to the groundsman. He's brought them all together. He's actually got the board on side, and I actually think the board can see that they've got something. They've got a gem in this man. And the last thing they want to do is like pressure this bloke and get him out of the club. And, you know, at the end of the day, just got to support him.
What I put it down to is, if you look at the last 2 managerial points, the last 2 managerial appointments that we've had, Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte, both come with a substantial background of prolific winning. Everywhere they go, they win stuff, right? Because Ange Postecoglou isn't proven in the Premier League, or isn't proven on a world stage, so to speak. I mean, yeah, he manages Celtic, but that's neither here nor there. When you look at the teams that Jose Mourinho's managed, Real Madrid, Inter Milan, he's currently at Roma, Man United, Chelsea twice. Like, I think people are still holding their reservations and they're holding back from admitting that Postecoglou is a good manager. They're holding back from that. And
yeah, agreed.
I think the idea behind it is, if we can attract the likes of Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte, why can't we appoint a bigger name? Not every manager who is a big name is going to fit the style of this club. Sometimes it takes finding these managers that come from smaller backgrounds, well, not smaller backgrounds, but from the Scottish Premiership. You know, sometimes it takes finding these managers that don't necessarily have a prolific name in world football. That's what it takes. Pochettino, what did he do before he came to Tottenham? He was at Southampton. He didn't achieve much with Southampton, but you could see the style of football that he was trying to bring. And we got behind him when he come to Spurs, and it worked. So just get behind Ange, believe in the process, buy into the philosophy that this guy's trying to implement at Spurs, and let's actually enjoy the football for a change, because the last 3 seasons have been nothing short of awful. Nothing short of awful.
Agreed. And I think a lot of it too comes from some people. Whenever Postecoglou was appointed, they said, he's not going to be good enough. We're going to finish mid-table. And I think a lot of people like to be proven right. People like to say, "I told you so." It's kind of human nature, and so I think a bit of it is that. I think that since we went on that great run of form, they all the people who said that Postecoglou wasn't good enough, they looked wrong, or they were wrong in their minds or whatnot. And I think now that we've had this little blip and we are I don't want to say falling backwards or anything, because obviously like you guys have mentioned, there's reasons for it, but I think that now that we've had these few losses, those people are now being able to say, haha, I told you that Postecoglou wasn't good enough. And I just think that's, like you guys were saying, unfair. I think that I
find what's even more,
it's weird tribalism or something. I don't know. It's very strange. But again, that's just how people are.
What I find even worse is that people are calling on Twitter. I've had to block people on Twitter because they're calling for Ange to leave already.
Yeah.
Like, I've got 3 or 4 people on the block list where they've been prolifically Ange out. Fuck off. I'm sorry, but fuck off.
Yeah, I mean,
he's been here 5 minutes. Give the guy some time.
And they're like, oh, just because he says mate all the time and gives cool interviews and has vibes, people want him to stay. But that's not it. I also think people are pissed off about him not changing his tactics whenever they think that he should. But this guy has literally climbed the ranks of football from like as low as you could almost all the way to like about as high as you can be. And he's played this brand of football, this style of football. So for people to say that he needs to adapt or change that, I feel like should be up to this man. And like you said, he should be given at least a full season to give it a shot to implement it. And, like Jose, like you were saying, Klopp, a great example. Klopp plays a similarly high line attacking style of football. Took him a while to get it right. Pochettino took him a while to get it right. And these are both teams that aren't nearly as decimated with injuries. I think it's really unfair. It's really, really unfair to be calling for Postecoglou out. And I think it's silly. And I think those people will probably, they conveniently won't say anything about it once things start going really well. I would say they would feel silly then, but once things start going well, the same people will kind of sink back into the bushes and not be so vocally, they won't bring this back up. But
how do people expect us to build for success if we're not giving a manager time to build?
I think it's a very vocal minority, to be honest.
It is a minority, but it just goes to show that some people are so fickle. Like, why are you calling for Ange Postecoglou out already? If you look at the stage where Ange Postecoglou is now, in comparison to where Mikel Arteta was at the same stage, Mikel Arteta was 11th or 12th in the Premier League. We're sitting comfortably in 5th with most of our first team out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 100% with you.
It is a very small. It is a very, very small amount of people.
Yeah.
What you do, all you've got to do is plant the seed, really, didn't you? So, and that's what I think.
Exactly.
You just need a few idiots to plant the seed, and then people start jumping on the bandwagon. Because there are a lot of people in life, not just in the Tottenham fan base, there are a lot of people in life that can't think for themselves, and they are followers, and they'll follow anything, without actually thinking about it or without challenging what the reasons that they're doing it. And you
my poor internet. Sorry for interrupting.
You're going to get some people that say they want Ange out, and some people are just going to jump on the bandwagon. And at the end of the day, they're absolute idiots.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. Sorry, my internet is being very silly, so I'm going to keep this off. Don't judge me. It just makes everything go a little better. But yeah, so yeah, agreed. And it's I just don't want the pitchforks to come out. I know that we're probably going to lose to City. It's definitely a possibility that we lose to City, and I just hope that everybody keeps their cool, keeps their butts, don't lose their butts completely over it. Daniel E right here. Who first of all, we got Leo from Mile High Hotspur. Big up to the homies. Big up Leo. Streamed with you earlier, Jose. That's awesome. He enjoyed it, so that's great.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
was on.
must have been-
We was on Kate's members show.
Oh,
Earlier.
nice,
She
nice.
did a
Well,
member show. So I jumped on. Leo jumped on. Bobby K and Mia. We all jumped on to because we're all members. We all jumped on, and we all had a good old chat for about an hour and a half. And yeah, Leo, it was a pleasure being with you on as well. Leo, we keep telling you got to come on here. Obviously, we have to find the right time for you, Leo, because obviously you're on a different timeline to what I am over here. But you're on a similar timeline to Colin, so I'm sure that we'll be able to set something up in the future.
exactly.
Mate.
All I'm going to say, Colin, you can bring up the screen. Just remember, Big Ange is cooking. Big Ange is cooking up a storm. It's Michelin style level cooking that we're seeing Big Ange bring to this club. Yeah, give the guy some time. Let him. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. You can't make a roast dinner in 5 minutes. Give it time. Give it time.
You can't make a roast dinner in 5 minutes. I've never heard a truer statement in my life. So that's good stuff. We've got some people in the chat that I need to say what's up to. So Daniel, I agree. Anybody that's saying Ange's out of his depth is an idiot.
100%.
Chris Peters saying, big up everyone, have a great show. Catch it later tonight. He's probably already back at work. That's an older comment. Chris, Mo, when you see this back, I want to tell you, hope you have a great day, mate. Appreciate you and your support and everything, man. Then we got Brian McGuire, and he's pointed out something really good point. Have a look at the way the under 18s and the U21s are playing. It's the same way as the first team, and that's only going to get better. So we're going to finally be able to pull players up from those those teams to play in the senior team. Something that should have been happening a long time ago, but it wasn't. That's me apologizing for the lag a bit on my end here. And then Jason G, what is up,
Mr.
Jason?
Bros, how you doing?
Saying all I can say is I actually look forward to games now. I sure as hell did not last year. 100%, 100%. I would. Oh my God, my stomach was in knots like entire matches.
I couldn't even bring myself to watch the games on Sky Sports, mate. I could not bring myself to even turn the telly on to watch them.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was really bad. And so now the fact that we can enjoy the matches again is a wonderful thing. I think we all said we wanted our club back. I know that time will tell. It's early in the process, but it seems like we're getting it. Eltel Cockerell, Jose himself, points out something very smart. This is a dual stream. We're streaming on both the Eltel Cockerell channel and Talking Ball. So if whatever one you're watching on, great. Thank you for being here. But if you could slide over to the other one and hit the like and subscribe just to kind of help out both channels as we fight against this YouTube algorithm that is constantly changing and causing us issues. And then we've got Ben. And Ben, I am not 100% sure how to pronounce your last name. I don't want to butcher it, but Jose probably knows. But he says, hi, guys. I think any talk of Ange being out of his depth would have been what they said about him in any of the leagues he has worked in. Oh, yeah, he will prove the doubters wrong. This is a dip with our top players. Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. Whenever he came to Scotland, they were probably like, who's this Australian guy that's managed in Australia and Japan? And you know what I mean? So that's a really good point, Ben. Thanks for being here, by the way. If you haven't, like and subscribe. But if you have, awesome. I appreciate you, dude. But very good point. Josh, do you agree with that? That he's probably been doubted and scoffed at every single club that he's joined, really?
He was written off by every club that he's joined before he even started.
Yeah,
and he manages to work wonders. Like, just give the guy time, man, honestly.
I agreed 100%. Then we've got Daniel E saying that it's silly that people need to feed their egos. Remember, this season was a free hit, and don't get me wrong. Some of his in-game management needs to be improved a bit, but he's never out of his depth. And I agree. I mean, I feel like every manager can improve their in-game management because, in theory, I mean, a manager shouldn't have to do a lot of in-game management, right? I mean, it should all be done in training. The players should know what they're doing. But I get like subs but he just never changes his formation ever. So I don't think we could really expect to see much of that. The most he'll do in that sense is throw on maybe a Højbjerg to sort of solidify things a bit towards the end of matches.
Please,
Um,
no.
I know, but we've seen it happen. You know what I mean?
Please,
We've got to
no.
lead. We've got to lead. He'll throw Højbjerg in to kind of protect it.
I
But
would,
real
I
quick,
would rather play a youth product than Højbjerg.
good thing Ellie's not here, dude. She's taking her cat to the vet, or else she'd be seeing this and she'd be pissed.
I've been consistent throughout. I've always said I don't rate Højbjerg. I don't rate him now. I didn't rate him
So
then. I don't want him at this club.
Oh, let me. You cut out again. What was the last thing you said? I heard you say I've been, and then it cut.
I've been very consistent with my approach to Højbjerg. I've always stuck to my guns. I don't rate him. I never have. I never will. He's not right for this club. He needs to move.
Dang. You think Italy would suit him? Think he'd go to Italy or Spain?
Like I said, if Atletico Madrid come in for him, let him go. If any other club comes in and it's a good offer, let him go. I do not want Højbjerg playing for this club. He's not what we want in this system.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's definitely a square peg in a round hole in this system for sure. Real quick though, I just wanted to say that Brian McGuire agreed with you, so that's the first person to ever agree with Josh.
Hey.
So Brian, big. I'm just kidding, of course. Adrian Soroka though points out that every football club has the lunatic fringe group of people. For sure.
Yes.
Leo is pointing out that Ange needs time to cook, as your image so rightfully pointed out, Josh. And then Brian is back saying that he heard people saying Ange out at the weekend. A lot of crap. I've never heard so much nonsense. And Ange I trust.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's nuts. What the fuck do people expect? What do they want? Who would you rather have? I mean, I'm at a loss because with the players that we've got, I just don't know what manager anybody thinks would do a better job. I'm down to listen. I'm all ears. You know, people are quick to want change, but not quick to have suggestions for what that change should be. Audio Artisan is here though, saying afternoon chaps. Big up Audio Artisan. Audio Artisan is a G and has been here since day one. Big up Audio Artisan, big love, my man. And then Mile High Hotspur is just big up and again. Yeah, and then Mile High says he's over on Eltel as well. You're a good dude. We appreciate you, man. And then Daniel, he's saying the only thing is sometimes his subs are a bit questionable, but with who he's got to go pick from, I sort of understand his subs to a degree. Jose, would you say that he has bad in-game management? Do you think his subs are okay? Do you think he needs to maybe do some stuff a bit earlier? Do you have any qualms with that?
I don't think he's there, mate.
We might have lost him. Josh, okay, I'll pose the question to you, bud.
I think some questions can be asked, yes, 100%, but every manager makes mistakes. It's one game where he brought on a defensive player rather than an attacking style player. But then I've already given my idea as to why that was, and that was because our defence against Villa was shocking as it was. And the only way that we could prevent a thrashing from happening was to bring on another defensive-minded player to bolster that defence. Going forward, we had no problems going forward, but it was defensively we had an issue. Defensively. You can sit here and beg the question, you should have brought on another attacking style midfielder. Yeah, I agree with you in some respect, but you have to understand again, our defence was flawed. But yeah, that's me.
No, I like it. I like it a lot. Hold on real quick. There's another comment here. And it's Ben. And he says, guys, I've come across low life like those calling for Ange's head. They troll clubs looking for bragging rights when they are doing well, but go loony when the team loses. Ben, 100%. I think that's exactly what these folks are up to. But it's okay.
Can we say a big hi to Ben?
Yeah, I wondered if it was a friend. I wonder if he was a friend of yours. I said I didn't recognize.
Ben's come on before. He's from Come On You Spurs TV. He's part of
Soji's channel.
Soji's people, and he came on before on my channel, and when we were dual streaming, and he joined this channel, and he subbed to you, Colin, as well. So
well, Ben, big love. Yeah, he's had lots of good insights as well today. He said that he pointed out that they probably told Ange he was out of his depth in many of the leagues that he's gone to. Whenever he joined Celtic, they probably said, who the hell is this guy? He's out of his depth. So
But he
Ben-
wasn't
Ben
out of his
makes-
depth because he brought the glory back
Right.
to Celtic.
Exactly. So people need to just look at that. But I thought that was an interesting point brought up by Ben, and then he is saying hi, Jose. So yeah,
Hi, Ben. Nice to see you, mate.
got some love going in the chat. Always like to see it. Well, guys, something we haven't been doing lately, and I just thought maybe the world missed it. Got an edition of Keep or West Ham for you folks today. I don't know, Josh. Are you familiar with the game and the rules?
I am familiar with the game and the rules. You give 2 choices, and I have to select one.
That is correct. It's basically that easy, but one of them goes to West Ham, and you don't want that to happen to anybody. So, with that in mind, guys, enjoy my favorite video I've ever made. That's right, everyone. This is Keep or West Ham, the internet's favorite Tottenham game show. Welcome, Josh. Welcome, Jose. I hope you're ready to play today. This one is a little interesting, so I will I'll just throw them on. These players are 2 players that are currently at the club. They occupy similar positions on the field. But if you could only keep one of them and send one of them to West Ham, who would it be? And I pose this question not only to you two, but to everyone in the chat as
well. Oh, you bastard!
It's easy for me.
You absolute
You, Jose.
bastard!
I wondered if it might be easy for you, but
It's easy for me. I'm keeping Lolo all day long. I've said it from a long time ago. Long time ago. Lolo is superb. Lolo is on edge of being world class. Lolo is a fantastic footballer. Lolo can do it anywhere. And I said, and then the funny thing, I was going to say a comment earlier, and I'll keep the comment now. And I'll say the comment now that I was going to say earlier. It's interesting with this YouTube malarkey because on my channel, I haven't got that many videos because I haven't done that many. But the good thing about it is you can go back and you can view what you've previously said in previous videos. And I remember saying this in many a time. I said that Bentancur was going to be a big miss, and that when Bentancur comes back, forget Sarr, forget Bissouma, Bentancur walks into the Tottenham team, and people were saying, no. Well, mate, he only played half an hour, and you saw exactly what Lolo's all about in half an hour in the game last weekend. And Lolo was like that every game he played for us last season before he got injured. He is a game changer. And he, for me, always head and shoulders up our best midfielder for me. In the 6 and 8 position, obviously a 10, Maddison's a 10, but a 6 and 8, Lolo for me is the best player we've got at the club in that position. I'm keeping him, and Bissouma, you go to West Ham all day long.
I love there was no challenge. I wondered though. I have a contingency. I have a plan to get myself out of this. This is great.
No. Josh, let's just have his opinion. You can have yours as well, Card. Start going to other players. Let's deal with these 2 first.
I need a cigarette. Jesus Christ, Colin, you put it on me.
I'm gonna kill somebody with one of these
Colin,
one day.
You go before Josh. Then, if Josh needs a fag.
All right, so
I can go.
He can do both. Yeah,
I rate them both. I really do. I think they both bring something unique to the team. Lolo's more attacking style. Bissouma is more defensive style. When you look at when you look at his heat maps, I rate them both. I think Bissouma's a shit house. I think Lolo is he's a chance creator. I would keep Bentancur and reluctantly send Bissouma to West Ham. Because the way I see it, if I had to, if both of them were fit, and you asked me to pick who am I going to start in the starting 11, Bentancur gets selected all week, all day long. But that's not to say I don't rate Bissouma. I think in the right situation, Bissouma can be brought into the squad. But Bentancur for me is my selection. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Basuma.
No apologies for Basuma will be okay. West Ham, he'll be playing in Europe. Anyway, so Daniel
Josh,
E is agreeing.
sorry, Josh, you didn't get to see the game, I don't think. Colin, you and I discussed this game, so I don't know whether you watched it or not. But the game before the Villa game, it was obviously the international week, and the game just before coming back to Tottenham, Bentancur played 86 minutes in a 3-0 victory, and Bentancur played the 6, and he was absolutely monstrous and immense in that game, in the national game. So that's why I know that he can play 6 and he can play 8 quite comfortably. And 6 is the Basuma role, isn't it? So
yeah,
but he had a monster show.
See, and I didn't actually watch the match either, so I can't comment intelligently on that. So I probably just won't. But yeah, Ben, your buddy Ben is agreeing. He agrees the hell out of your speech on Lolo. Yeah, Basuma's looked a little different since his red card. I agree on that too. Daniel E again saying technically it's Bentancur, like you said, Jose. Bentancur's on the verge of being world class, says Daniel E. Audio Artisan weighing in. Keep Basuma. I honestly feel that
it's a very interesting point Audio brings up there. The new injury could potentially be there
was this look on his face that was like, motherfucker, like again. Like you could literally see it. He just looked he had rehabbed so hard to be back, and I think he knew he had done some damage. And just the look on his face, just to me said,
I think it's a very, very valid point that Audio brings up there though, man. Like this it's the second injury in, how long? What he was out for near enough 9 months before. He's just come back from injury and now he's injured again. Could this be the start of an injury spell where he's constantly going to keep getting injured? Is this going to be the turnaround where he turns into a prime deadly king where he can only play one game every month?
Yeah.
Questions need to be asked. But yeah.
So Ben points out a good point. I said we're strengthening West Ham. He said send him to Luton, please. He may come back to make us pay if he goes to West Ham. I like that. You're right. That's the one part about this game you got to think about is we're strengthening a rival at the same time. It's a lot to think about. Daniel E doesn't even want to think about the possibility of Lolo not coming back and being able to play at this level. I agree, man. I'm the same way. And then you've got Adrian Stroka, the OG, been here forever. Love you, Adrian. Says that Bentancur will put in more consistent performances than Basuma throughout a season. I think that's without a doubt. So I had an idea that everybody would say Bentancur. And so because of that, I then did this.
You absolute bastard.
I then thought if Bentancur is so important to our midfield that everyone will pick him over Basuma, no problem. How does he do against Moussa Dembele?
Moussa Dembele all day long. I'm sorry. That guy is probably undeniably one of the best defensive midfielders we've had in years.
Because we just said that Bentancur was on the verge of being world class. And so now we got to think. Yeah.
The thing about Basuma, so not Basuma, the thing about Dembele, as opposed to Bentancur, is that Dembele could dictate and control the flow of the game, no matter what position he was in, no matter where he was on the pitch. He was a natural born leader, and that guy he brought so many memories to me as a Spurs fan.
Same, yeah, big same.
In my opinion, Victor Wanyama and Moussa Dembele was undeniably the best central defensive midfield pairing we have had in years. Like, second to none. If you're asking me to pick, I pick Moussa Dembele all day long.
And you gave your reasons too. I like it. That's good. It's funny that they're both players that have had some big injuries now. Dembele had a hard time staying fit. We just talked about the fact that Bentancur could be kind of in that same boat after this latest injury. So that's another thing that kind of, I think, brings them closer together and makes the comparison a little better and a little harder of a choice. Jose, out of these two, So you were quick to say low on the first one, and then I think you might be quick on this one too with your answer. But what you got?
I like Lolo. I really do like Lolo.
Whoa!
No, I haven't finished yet. I said I
Oh,
really
okay.
do like Lolo.
Okay.
The thing is, we got 3 good seasons out of Dembele, and we got to see him. And he was underrated because Dembele was never rated world class. We, as Tottenham fans, appreciate the player more than what opposing fans did. So, you know, opposing fans didn't appreciate Dembele. Tottenham fans did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was a top player. As a 6, Dembele's a monster. Absolute monster. As an 8, I prefer Bentancur as an 8, to be honest, than what I would Dembele. But as a 6, I prefer Dembele. So for me, I'm kind of torn. I do rate Bentancur so highly because I think Bentancur is pre-injuries, right? Last year, he was envy of other clubs. I think coming back that first half an hour at Villa, he would have been envy of other clubs as well. People would have been thinking, we would love to have Bentancur in our team.
Matches and everything. I swear to God, I do. But I'm also very emotionally invested, so I don't necessarily always think very critically while I'm watching. What is Bentancur's? I mean, would you compare their play styles at all? I mean, they both break lines, but completely differently.
I put Dembele more in the 6 mold than an 8 mold.
Yeah. So
for me personally, I put Bentancur in an 8 more than a 6.
It's just weird how.
I'll tell you what, Josh. They'd be the ideal partnership for Tottenham, wouldn't they?
100%. 100%.
That would be world beating. Them 2 together would be world beating. What? Imagine them 2 and Maddison as the 10. Fucking hell. That is pure cream, isn't it?
It would be unbelievable. It would be unbelievable. But everybody in the chat seems well, no. So we got Ben laughing, crying at I think this pairing. Audio Artisan says keep Dembele. Enough said. We got Danny E saying not over Moussa Dembele. Benny is a baller, but never over Dembele. Ben comes back to say that Dembele all eternity long. That would have been end on bad boy if he had kept off the burgers. Yeah, no kidding. Can you imagine? That's still something that'll bug me forever. How good Ndombele could have been. Whatever. But Daniel says I think the only question I got to ask about Dembele is should he have shot more? His goal tally would have been much better. Yeah, he clearly. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. He started his career as a striker, so I mean he must have known how to put his boot through one. But he didn't. You're right. He didn't score many goals, and when he did, it was always a big surprise. But yeah, no opposing fans know that Dembele was a monster. I've heard it enough from rival fans. Well, that's fine. We don't need them to know. That's okay. It was our thing. But yeah, so that was my just keeper West Ham, just fun for today, guys. I just thought, why don't I give you guys a little bit of a tough one here? And I think
if you thought the first one wasn't tough,
right?
That second one was a killer.
Yeah, if you thought that first one wasn't tough, why did you prepare it?
It was basically a setup for the second one, to be completely honest.
Okay,
yeah,
It was a caveat.
Yeah,
I knew everyone would pick Bentancur, so then I wanted to say, well, okay, well then now Bentancur versus our favorite player ever.
But the thing is, people weren't saying nothing about Bentancur at the start of the season, and I turned around and I said at the start of the season, Bentancur comes back fit. He walks into this team, and people were like, "Nah, ain't you seen Basuma and Sarr? Ain't you seen Basuma and Sarr?" And I was like,
I was one of those.
Bentancur is Bentancur, mate. Don't worry, Bentancur is Bentancur. He walks into the team, and I did say the other day, Josh, that I'm more worried. I'm not worried about Bentancur as an athlete, and with all the new technologies and the medical sciences about trying to get him back from an injury. But it's more his mental health, more his, he's lost 9 months of his life and career to the first injury, and now he's going to lose a further 3 or whatever to the next injury, and it's about coming back. I will say, I mean, I'm not inside his head. I find the chap to be mentally strong from what I've seen. He's from fucking Uruguay. There are nails out there as well, but you know, I did say the other day that I wished his mental health all the best and hope he recovers from his injury. But I did say, didn't I, Colin, the other day, first and foremost, I was always worried about his mental health first and foremost, because it's going to be a big hit, because it's your livelihood. What do you do? Do you twiddle your thumbs all day now that you can't play and you can't do the things that you would normally do? So lots of things can enter in your head, and that's what I said the other day. For me, it's more, I'm agreeing, Josh, with what you're saying, because I did say the other day, it's more for his mental health for me.
For sure. And like I said,
I've got no doubts he'll come back from the injury, probably come back stronger, because well, stronger because all the physio that they're going to have to do and everything that he's going to have to do to get back over an Achilles. But then at the same time, you can't overcompensate the Achilles for what's happened to his ACL. So he'd have to be doing work on both in order to come back. The only thing is, I can't. Is it both in the same leg, the Achilles and the ACL?
I don't think so. So I think that it was his left leg that got done recently for the Achilles, and it was his right ACL. The tackle from Cash, he was playing. He was on. I'm trying to think of the way the tackle came in.
The tackle came in on his right leg.
It did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm no longer sure. Josh, do you know which leg Bentancur injured first time? Or anybody in the chat? Since we've got a few people in the chat too. Does anybody know which leg Bentancur injured his ACL on, and then now which leg has the Achilles damage? Is it the same leg?
I'm not sure.
Me neither.
I'll touch it now.
I'd also changed this on accident. Just fix that. Boom. But yeah, Daniel E says he was about to say he's from Uruguay. They're built different in South America. They got the mentality. I really hope you're right. Like I said, the look on his face when he had to be taken off was just like he knew he was in for more rehab. One thing I'll say is I hope that in Europe that you guys are cooler than in the United States and they don't give him a whole bunch of like pain medicine, because that shit's real addictive and could ruin your life.
Right, his ACL was his left knee.
Okay, well, at least it's two different legs.
Rodrigo Bentancur has ruptured the anterior cruciate ligament in his left knee and will be out of action for the remainder of the campaign. And that was that. Injure his, and the other one was Achilles, weren't it now?
Yeah. Or ankle ligament. I'm not sure if they said Achilles now that you mentioned it. So while we're looking this up, I'm gonna also look up. Has anything else come? Have you guys heard anything else about the whole Jermaine Defoe bullshit?
No, I haven't. It's his left ankle. It was his left ankle.
Left ankle as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Well,
left ACL and left ankle.
Yay! That sucks.
So therefore, he'll have to do double the amount of work to try and build up his ankle. And his Achilles in that area, as well as his knee area as well, because they won't just let you do one and the other, because the other will become weak. So you're gonna have to balance. You're gonna have to balance both.
Yikes!
Right. Yeah,
so Matty Cash, if you see this, go fuck yourself. And yeah, Ben said it was ankle ligaments and a dodgy ankle. Now we're screwed. I mean, maybe not. We'll see. I'm waiting to get real freaked out until it's like necessary. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just don't have the mental capacity to be like just completely stressed out and worried all the time. I used to, but I just can't do it. So until we know that he's crocked, that I'm gonna just believe he'll come back fine. I think that's the best way to do it. And then I also wanted to real quick. So you guys haven't heard anything back. We're getting close to the end, everybody. But I just wanted to ask. So you haven't heard anything else about the Jermaine Defoe business? I think that's a good thing. I think the fact that if there was a lot more coming from that, if there was really any more coming from that, you'd think it would be louder, right? You'd think there would be more noise surrounding it. In you guys' personal opinion, do you think it'll be a points deduction type deal, or do you think we'll just get fined? I know there's really no precedent, so it's hard to guess. This is just purely guessing, but I'm just curious as to what you guys think is going to happen with the Jermaine Defoe business.
First and foremost, I think it's never a points deduction. Nowhere near a points deduction. You have to look at the age of the of when it happened. So it's never ever going to be a points deduction. I would say that if it was looked at by the FA or the Premier League, whoever looked at it before, then why are they reopening it to look at it now? Because you could do that for absolutely anything that's happened in the past, unless, I don't know, unless like in a court of law, if new information comes to light, you're allowed to review and revisit a case. But to me, I think it's too long in the tooth. It's too long in the day that it's happened. I'd say worst case scenario, you probably get a slap on your hand with maybe a tiniest of fines, something like 20 grand or something like that.
Well, United and Liverpool didn't get done. Or sorry, West Ham didn't get done for the Mascherano and Carlos Tevez deal, where they used a third party.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think anything's going to happen. If it did, I was going to say, it'd be minimal. If we were found guilty and something happened, it'd be very minimal. 20 grand maximum fine, no more than that. There's never going to be points, nowhere near it. Nowhere near points deduction.
Good deal.
That's my opinion.
I'm taking that as a fact, and you are a lawyer. This is legal advice, so
It's just my opinion.
I want to believe it. So Daniels, though, is coming in saying they said if there's more evidence, they might review. That's all. It's people worrying about something very little, to be honest. Sweet. No, I'm good deal. That's what I wanted to hear, Daniel. So I'm happy about that.
It's a good caveat into transfers you got there, mate, because I've got a few news stories sitting on my screen that I could read out.
Let's please, hit us.
Right, so Ryan Sessegnon could be sent out on loan in the upcoming transfer window. That's according to a recent report from Football London, which claims Ange Postecoglou could ship the young fullback out on loan in the coming weeks. He's currently ruled out of an injury, although his return date remains unknown. Should the 23-year-old make a recovery before the January window opens, he could then find himself a new club. This is dependent on on Destiny Udogie. So, consider whether or not Destiny Udogie can remain fit would determine whether or not we keep Ryan Sessegnon as a backup. The next one I've got is
is Udogie. Is Udogie nursing an injury right now or something?
No,
he's
no.
fit. From what Udogie's fit right now, right?
Yeah. They're saying what
Okay,
Josh said is
cool.
they're saying providing that Udogie's they think he's going to remain fit for the rest of the season. There's a risk that they let Sessegnon go out. But if they buy a left centre half, Josh, then a left centre half between the left centre half, Mickey Van der Ven and Udogie, they're going to have the left covered.
Yeah. Exactly that. Tottenham summer transfer decision looks to be a smart one as the player is no longer in the top draw. This is a report regarding Gift Orban, who we were linked with in the summer, as he is now experiencing major problems at Ghent. He's fallen out of favour with the manager Hein van Hasbroek and isn't performing with the same energetic and high intensity that we've seen him before. So he's now down tooling, which could potentially mean he's on his way out of that club. L'Equipe have claimed that Tottenham Hotspur could land Feyenoord striker Santiago Jimenez for 50 million euros or 43.3 million pounds in January. He's one of the most prolific marksmen across Europe in the last 18 months since moving to the Eredivisie, and the forward is showing no signs of slowing down. It seems inevitable that he'll be making a big move sooner rather than later, with Spurs being mooted as a potential destination for him over the last couple of months. So Jimenez, again, his name is being thrown about the transfer rumor mill that he could be on his way to Spurs.
So with that one, Josh, all I'm going to say is that if you don't snap them up for that kind of money, and this is anyone, by the way, it doesn't have to be Tottenham. If you're not snapping up for that kind of money now, come the summer, he's going to be 70 million plus.
Yep, exactly that. Confidence Tottenham can sign player, not scared by the price. Further contact on the way. Just reading this now. Tabloids in Italy claim that Tottenham Hotspur will make an attempt to sign Juventus' Samuel Idding Jr. in January. This is backed up by 2O Sport, who provide the latest of the North London club's pursuit of the 20-year-old. So they're like the Italian equivalent to what we have over here.
I heard they only wanted like 15 million for him. 15. I heard the price on that 15.
Hear me out. On top of that as well, we've also been. It's likely we're going to try and get a €2 million a €2 million profit on that as well. Not profit, discount. So again, Levy being Levy, looking for a discount. So €13 million is what we're looking at.
Samuel Idding Jr. has got Paratici cooking in the background written all over it.
Yeah.
It really does.
Exactly that. Exactly
It
that.
really does.
He's English, so he would add to the homegrown aspect of the club as well.
Ooh, I didn't even think of that. Nice.
Yeah, he's English. Yeah.
He's England under 21 international. He's a
Lovely.
great interest to Ange Postecoglou. Spurs have made manoeuvres to sign £15 million man likened to Wijnaldum. Now, according to the Italian newspaper Corriere dello Sport, via Sports Witness, the North London club has apparently made behind-the-scenes move for a new transfer target, and Spurs are initiating the manoeuvres to sign Bilal El Khanous from Genk, with the young midfielder showing a lot of promise in the Jupiler Pro League right now. He's played 67. Yeah,
would he be playing in like Matters' spot if Matters couldn't play, or would he be?
I think he'd be a backup, mate.
Yeah.
El Khanous has played 67 matches in all competitions, racking up 4 goals and 7 assists. The Morocco international could cost around £15 million to prize away from Genk, which would come as pretty affordable price from Tottenham's perspective.
Yeah,
he has been likened to that of Victor Wijnaldum.
Absolutely.
He's been likened to that of Wijnaldum by Football Transfers, given the Dutchman's past starring role for ex-club Liverpool. It's pretty tantalising comparison. Very much so. And in the last hour or so, there have been claims made from a Turkish outlet that Tanguy Ndombele is keen to prove himself at Galatasaray and has made it clear that he will not be exiting the club through the back door. Please let that be true. Please let that be true.
I also heard today from Jose that we're planning on maybe pulling Tanganga back and having that being one of if not maybe our only, but at least one of our defensive moves this January. Maybe recalling him from loan. What would you guys be happy with? I mean, do you trust Tanganga to play in this system? Do you think he's better than what we have?
Yeah, he hasn't actually played a game yet for Augsburg. He's been injured ever since he's gone there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. That's all we need. Another injured player.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think just judging from what we've seen from him in the past, I think he would do okay in this system. He's decent with the ball at his feet. I think his time playing as a fullback will a little bit will have helped that. I think he's good at playing out from the back. Maybe it could prove to be a master class, move, but it isn't exciting. You know what I mean? But it could work out. I mean, it's a player that already knows the other players. He doesn't know the system yet, obviously, but from the defensive side, it doesn't seem as particularly confusing as offensive. I think defending is sort of it's a simpler task. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Josh, would you be let down if that was our defensive movement this January? Was just to recall.
It depends on the state of the back four. It really does. I don't think recalling Tanganga is the right move. They might even terminate the loan because of him being injured, which is possibly why there's this talk of him coming back.
Oh, okay, yeah, because Daniel E thinks there's no recall option. He says so. Maybe it is them terminating the loan. That would be cool.
Yeah, could potentially terminating the loan as well. Yeah. Another one I've just seen, according to the Express, Almado Broja is determined to stay at Chelsea despite the club's potential signing of a new striker. The Albanian has garnered interest from other Premier League clubs sides such as West Ham and Tottenham Hotspur, while Fulham are considering to make a move for him in January. So, making a move for a Chelsea player, I don't really want that, to be honest. Let him stay.
No, Fulham were interested in him, and Chelsea have knocked him back already. They're not Fulham back. And Fulham are interested in Broja now in the transfer window coming up. And Chelsea already not that back. So,
but it's another player where we don't know what's going to happen because he spent all the season out last year because he did he ruptured his ACL.
He's back though.
I didn't know he was from our academy. Daniel says he came from our academy. I wasn't aware.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, guys, we are wrapping up. This is very close to ending. We're rambling a bit, but that's what we do. Just want to pull these up real quick. Please subscribe to Jose at the channel here, Altal Cockerell. If you're watching on Talking Ball, this is a dual stream. We're doing it on both channels. And then the same here. Please subscribe to Talking Ball if you're watching on Altal Cockerell. And then if whichever one you're watching on, big love, no pressure on which one to watch. Just make sure if you can to like and subscribe to both channels, just as it really helps us both out. And then I just wanted to say, that was news you can use. Thank you for being there with that. And again, I just wanted to say, you guys, thank you for watching. This show is nothing without you guys in the chat. So if you're watching this live, you're watching a replay, big up. We love you. We love this little community that we've created. We love having these little talks every day. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as we do. Please, if you can, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you got any Spurs fans in your life that don't watch many YouTubers, send them our way. Let them know that you know some good ones, and maybe share this with a Spurs supporting friend. But yeah, you guys have anything? I think it's about time to close up shop. Josh, are you ready to close up shop? I think Josh had to go already. And then Jose's got to go too. All right. Well, hey, everybody, thank you for being here. Let me turn my camera on and see if I break everything. Thank you for being here, Jose. I appreciate your time today, sir.
Thank you, everyone. And yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow. What time are we coming on tomorrow? 4:30 again?
Do you like 4 better or 4:30?
4:30 is fine. So tomorrow we'll be back at 4:30. Tomorrow will be predictions show, and just a reminder to people that once we do the predictions tomorrow, that will run for Saturday and Sunday. On Monday's show, we'll give you the update of what the predictions were for the weekend in the Monday show, and then we'll do the predictions for next week because there's games Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Oh, I made him freeze.
So it's going to be a double. It's going to be a double show. And Colin is having fun with his internet today.
Yeah, my internet's terrible today. I got to fix that before work, so I'm going to fix that right now. But everybody, I'll play us out. I'll play us out with our favorite song, and hopefully he gets these vibes that we're sending him and gets better soon. But Jose, thank you. Josh, thank you. Everybody watching, thank you. See you next time. See you soon, everybody.
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.